Hello everyone, welcome to today's news charter. Let us begin with the topics of the day. Data encryption. So whenever we talk about science and technology for UPSC, we need to understand the basic terms, the key words, the most important terms which are regularly in news. So these kind of things becomes extremely important for your examination. So one such term is data encryption. We need to know what exactly is data encryption because we talk about privacy, data privacy, etc. Data encryption is a very important method to ensure privacy. So three statements are given. How many of the above statements are correct? First one, encryption is the act of changing some consumable information into an inconsumable form. So this is exactly what happens when you are encrypting a data. For example, if I have to encrypt a message I am sending to someone else. So the moment I press the send button, it gets into an encrypted form. It gets into a completely different form. So someone who tries to collect the information in between, they will not be able to see the message I have sent. They will be able to see some uh, random symbols or some random numbers. So it will be a completely encrypted form. So this option is correct. Second one, E to E, that is end-to-end encryption, is encryption in which message is encrypted both in transit and in rest. So two things. In transit means when the message is going from my phone to the other person's phone, that is in transit. So what happens? I send a message, it goes to the data server, and from the server, it goes to the other person's phone. So this is in transit. So in end-to-end encryption, it gets encrypted in both the transit and rest. Another form is called encryption in transit. Here, what happens is the encryption happens only from the user to the server. So after that, encryption will not happen. It means from the server to the user. So it is encrypted in two ways. End-to-end encryption is complete encryption from the user to the server and from the server to the other user. That is end-to-end encryption. End-to-end encryption in transit means from the server to the user only. So all the above statements are correct. You don't have to get into the details how encryption is done and all these things. They will never ask question. Only basic things you need to know. Those are available in this options. You can read about it. Horizon 2047. So these kind of catchy phrases and terms are very important for prelims examination. You can use it even in mains examination. It will be very nice to use such terms and words. So Horizon 2047 is discussed when we talk about India-France relationship because India and France established formal relationships in 1947. So by 2047, it will be 100 years. So 2047 will mark 100 years of India's independence and 100 years of diplomatic relationship between India and France. So this phrase gains prominence. It is called as Horizon 2047. Apart from that, in 1998, what happened is India and France signed a strategic partnership agreement. It is because of this strategic partnership agreement, India is able to get fighter jets from France. India is able to get submarines from France. India is able to get all high-end technologies from France. So in 1998, we signed it. By 2047, it will mark the 50th year of Indo-France strategic partnership. So this is also very important. Three pillars of India-France partnership or three pillars of India-France bilateral relationship is security, planet, and people. When we talk about security, we talk about Rafale fighter jets, Scorpion submarines, and the recent measures to try to build an indigenous jet engine by India. France is going to help in that. So all these things becomes important. Apart from that, when we talk about planet, we can talk about sustainable measures, solar, the International Solar Alliance, and other renewable energy methods. France is going to help India to build 6 nuclear power stations. So these comes under the planet. About people, when we talk about people, people to people relationship. French companies coming in India and trying to invest in India, Indians going to France and trying to get educated there. So these things come under people. So these are all the key pillars. Take a note of it. In mains, it will be helpful. Defense, space, civil, nuclear, digital technology, counter-terrorism, and blue economy. All these things are given importance by France and India, and especially from bilateral point of view. RBI's guidelines on state guarantee. So what exactly is state guarantee? In some points or in some situations, what happens is the state government tries to give some guarantee to the enterprises or cooperative institutions or urban local bodies, etc., when they are trying to take some loan. So the state government will guarantee means state government will act as the guarantor. So in case if these organizations to fail to pay back the money, it will be upon the state to pay the money. So this is state guarantee. Generally, state gives guarantee for state-owned enterprises, state-owned entities, cooperative institution, urban local bodies, etc. So in return, the entities are required to pay a guarantee fee. So a small fee the entities will pay to the government. So what happens is the government guarantees have caused a lot of financial trouble to the state governments. So recently, the Reserve Bank of India have told that government guarantees should not be used to obtain finances through state-owned entities. At present, for state-owned entities, the state government is giving guarantee, but RBI is telling that you need to stop this because you need to stop this because the state governments tend to keep giving guarantees to the state-owned entities, and it will result in a lot of problems because the state-owned entities will not pay back. So these kind of issues are happening. They must not be used for external commercial borrowings. Each and every point mentioned here are important. So take a note of it and ensure you remember it very well for the examination. RBI has given it's just guidelines. It is not that it has to be strictly followed, it's just guidelines. So RBI has also told that they must not be used for external commercial borrowing, must not be extended for more than 80% of the project. So if a entity is going to get a loan of 100 crore, not more than 80 crore should be guaranteed. So that's what RBI is telling. For external commercial borrowing means when an entity is going to borrow from the commercial market. So that comes under external commercial borrowing, ECBs. So for that, why do you have to give guarantee? That should not be given. And it must not be provided to private sector companies or institutions. It is very clear. And apart from this, the RBI is telling, let us have a ceiling of 5% revenue receipt or 0.5% of gross state domestic product. So 0.5% of GSDP, it should not cross that. The guarantee which the state is providing should not cross this limit. This is what RBI has told. So these things you can use in your answer. In mains, if they are asking how to strengthen the state finances, how to prevent a fiscal deficit of the state, in such cases, you can use these points very easily. From international relationship point of view, for prelims and mains, this is very important. Especially for prelims, generally we get this kind of topics. So you need to know. For prelims 2024, ECOWAS is a very important topic. Try to remember the countries, try to know about the significance of this organization also. So recently what happened is three countries, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. So these three countries got away from ECOWAS. Took they took back their membership from ECOWAS. The reason is these three countries are under military regimes, so they are not able to follow the guidelines of ECOWAS. So they said it is better we will get ourselves out of the organization. So what exactly is ECOWAS? ECOWAS is an organization, uh, a strategic organization which includes 15 West African countries established by the Economic Community of West African States. So in total, these 15 countries came together, 15 countries which are in the western part of Africa came together, and then they said, let us introduce a community or an organization which will help us in linking ourselves economically and trying to build a good economic framework for ourselves. It happened in 1975. Where did it happen? This point is important from prelims point of view. It was established in Nigeria in the place called Lagos. But the headquarters of ECOWAS is in Abuja, Nigeria. Both are in Nigeria, but try to remember the place also because it is very confusing. It's very simple. The establishment happened in Lagos, Nigeria. The headquarters is in Abuja, Nigeria. ECOWAS of the people is the theme for ECOWAS. It is telling that peace and property to all should be achieved by 2050. This is the theme of ECOWAS. So, which are the countries which are present in this? In the western part of Africa, we have 15 countries, which includes Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso. These three countries have got out of ECOWAS now. The remaining 12 countries are here: Nigeria, Benin, Togo, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Gambia, and Senegal. So these are all the countries. Try to remember them. The mission to promote economic integration across the entire region is their aim. Gelefu Mindfulness City or Gelefu Mega Mindfulness Project. So this is a very ambitious project of Bhutan in which India is also linked, in which India is also helping Bhutan. So as we all know, Bhutan is located very close to India. It is almost half of its border belongs or is shared by India. So recently, Bhutan is trying to develop itself as a interlinkage between South Asia and Southeast Asia. When we talk about South Asia, countries such as India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, all these countries comes up. When we talk about Southeast Asia, countries such as Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, Myanmar, and Singapore, Thailand, all these countries comes up. So Bhutan would like to be an intermediary between these two countries. So the idea is to develop economic corridor that connects South Asia with Southeast Asia via India's northeastern states. So it links India's northeastern states with Bhutan and then the Southeast Asian countries also, because the northeastern parts of India is the intermediary between Bhutan and the Southeast Asian countries. So it is going to be developed as a special administrative region. Try to look at the map. Gelefu is located here. It is located very close to Assam. So it will result in development of Assam also, because we talk about developing a rail linkages between Kokrajhar of Assam and Gelefu of Bhutan. Apart from this, we will have a international airport in Gelefu, second international airport. It aims to be a economic and social hub on Bhutan's southern border. It will have engagement with prominent Indian industrialists and companies for collaboration. So we need to know that Bhutan is going to develop a mega city in a place called Gelefu, which is located very close to Assam, and Kokrajhar in Assam to Gelefu in Bhutan. We are going to develop railway linkage through which goods transport and people to people connect can also happen. Mains practice question of the day: economic welfare of the northeast states of India could be ensured with better economic integration of Southeast Asia. Comment, it's a 10-mark question. So here we have to talk about India's Northeast policy, India's Act East policy, and what measures India have taken, India's relationship with ASEAN countries, India's other measures such as BIMSTEC, SARC, etc. And then you can come up with a way forward. A important point which you can use in your mains examination: in 2022, World Inequality Report was published, and this report told that India is one of the most unequal country in the world because the top 1% of the population of India controls almost 20% of the total wealth in the country. So that means 1% of the population is having around 20% of the total wealth in the country. But when you talk about the last 50% of the population, the bottom 50% of the population, they just have 13% of the total wealth. So this point can be used very well in your answers, especially in GS 3 paper. When we talk about economic inequality, etc., you can use this point and tell that economic inequality is a major problem in India and we have to take care of it. Prelims pointers, INSAT 3DS from science and technology point of view from the topic space. The satellite is designed for enhanced meteorological observation. Whenever we talk about INSAT, it is about meteorological observation only. We already have launched INSAT satellites. INSAT 3DS is going to empower the INSAT satellites again. So what are all the extra we are providing here? It is going to enhance the meteorological observation, monitoring of land and ocean surface for weather forecasting and disaster warning also. So this comes under the disaster management GS3. You can take a note of it. Data relay transponder is an instrument which is going along with the INSAT 3DS. So what it does is it receives meteorological, hydrological, and oceanographic data from automatic data collection platforms or automatic weather stations. So this will result in better weather prediction and climatic prediction in India. So these are all the most important topics which were in news today. Try to remember everything, try to go through everything, important points, try to take a note of them. That will be all for today. All the best. Let's speak tomorrow.